Now on Granada, a look back at 25 years of classic conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Aspel. Good evening.
Hello.
Can I say, in the book, one of the most amazing statements that you've written, and I've had to write it out myself so that I can read it back to you,
Yes?
is, one thing you say, one thing is certain, I don't like being interviewed. I find a lack of empathy occurs and my brain seizes up like rusty machinery, which puts us in a very sorry situation at the moment.
Well, thanks for having me. I'll be honest. That was in 1974, though it may seem longer, and I was persuaded to stay despite my reservations. But then I'm not the only one who feels uncomfortable at the thought of questions heading in my direction. And tonight we're going to investigate how an assortment of names have reacted to being interviewed over the last 25 years of talk shows on ITV. Chat, of course, is seen as the bread and butter of television. All you need is a chair, a host and a guest. It's all very simple. But then take these stairs. It may look easy enough just walking onto the set, but when the light and the cameras are on you and the audience is expectant, it doesn't always work out as smoothly as you'd like. Here's a selection of entrances that were more dramatic than the producer intended. First, from 1988, Elizabeth Taylor as viewers saw her, poised, glamorous, basking in the adoration of her fans. This was, in fact, entrance number 2. A few moments before, a transmitter, strapped for convenience to Miss Taylor's inner thigh, fell off and clattered to the floor. She laughed loudest of all. When David Frost bounded onto the set of Sunday Sunday 10 years ago to tell Gloria Hunniford about the sexual chemistry of TVAM, he registered 8.4 on the Richter scale, and this was before the breakfast station even got on the air. And Gloria, brave girl, must have realised she was asking for it when she invited Freddie Starr onto the show. And how can I forget this precious moment? One glimpse of that confident smile, and you just knew the conversation was going to be of the flowing variety. Cheers. Now, once you've actually got your guest on, there comes that slightly awkward moment as they settle in the hot seat and niceties are exchanged before you launch into the interview. Some guests, understandably, try to delay that moment as long as possible.
Oh, this is nice. Not PVC. It's not PVC, is it? I hope it's not. You know, it sticks to your bum. It's dripping. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I realised it is real calf, isn't it? Leather.
It is, yes.
You do yourselves well here. Nice. I like all that ritzy stuff.
You do.
The film exposes the connection, of course,
Could
between...
I take this chair with me when I leave? I will.
It is good, isn't it?
It's a great chair.
The only chairs in the world designed for a chat show, not just bought, but made for us.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a magnificent chair because it keeps you like this. And
Yes.
still, you can do this. And sorry.
Do I swap seats?
No, please, you're doing remarkably
Because
well.
you got your best side on, I got my worst side on.
All right, go on, I'll swap seats.
Come around,
Are you
Hello.
keeping your strength up for the
No,
play?
I've brought some chocolates because I'm at the stage now where I can't go 10 minutes without one.
What stage
So
is
it's
this?
whether I go mad on your show or have a chocolate. It's up to you.
I'd like a little of both, actually. That could be
Would you
fun.
like a chocolate?
No,
to
no,
to kick us off?
No, you kick yourself off.
No, all right,
just,
I will. Thank you.
I'll watch.
Very good.
What a wonderful privilege
How very
to
nice
be on your show.
How very nice to have you with us.
Isn't he gorgeous? It's lovely to have an opportunity to interview you.
I didn't know it was going to be that way around.
Now,
Is it
let us,
gonna be-
let us commence the interview.
Do you want this interview to be serious?
Of course. Listen, how did the first
Get
half
yourself
go?
comfortable.
All right.
Get yourself comfortable.
I've got these tight pants on tonight. Are you the same, love? You the same, girl? Wiggle. Nothing worse than your knickers out of focus, dear. That's right. Here we are. Now.
How do you do? You've done wonderfully well, haven't you? Wonderfully well.
I'm a bit taken aback.
You started with nothing, and look at you now. How do you do? Now, I'm awfully sorry that Barry Humphries couldn't be here this evening, but we've just flown in from Australia, and we're both suffering from jet lag, I'm afraid.
How is it showing itself, you're suffering
Well,
from...
I'm feeling very, very well, but Barry isn't terribly well. Poor pet. He's back in the hotel, and of course, he has just had a vasectomy. On his diners card. He's not 100%. So he said, Edna, would you just pop along? How do you do? My name is Edna Everidge, housewife superstar.
You know, I've never actually said this to anybody, very rarely in real life, and certainly never on television, but Nigel, your flies are undone.
You haven't worked it up.
I thought he was going to say, Nigel, I love you.
And I very nearly did. But that actually was at the end of the interview. I'd noticed the glint of metal the moment Nigel came on, but I didn't want to embarrass him. So your guests have loosened their stays, the mood is right, on with the conversation and all those well-researched and cleverly phrased questions you've been dying to ask.
I don't know quite how to phrase this, but some of your remarks in the House of Commons have earned you the reputation of being a bit of a thug.
Good heavens, that's a most extraordinary remark, Cloudy.
What do you like at 4 o'clock in the morning? I don't mean as far as sexual chemistry is concerned. I just mean about getting up to get to your job.
Now, wasn't that self-control? That was a moment of self-control. Well, would you like to rephrase that question?
I understand, yes.
Would you give the royal family a rise, in fact?
Oh, no, you're getting controversial. I'm not going to answer that. So let's get on. Oh, no, I'm here to talk about me. I don't know anything. Oh, no. I like that, you see. I love that. He's very good at this. You see, stirring it up. He has two... I've seen you before. You have two people, one here and one there, you see. All friends. And you say, would you show us around? And the time you finish, they hate each other. You're saying, you're looking at the cameras as much as to say, I didn't expect this. All innocence, you see. But you're not doing with me, mate.
Oh. What kind of fruitful, amusing, entertaining, diverting experiences have you had abroad, say?
Melon sucking.
Scissors! Definitely scissors for that.
I read you once drank, I've got a note here, 104 pints in 24 hours. That was beer, I presume?
No, it was 48 hours.
Ah, well, that's all right.
Yes.
Well, on a slightly more serious note, Frank, of course. Oh, Frank.
Oh, that'll go down in history as one of the cock-ups of all time. You'll never hear the last of that in the club at the BBC.
Harry, let me ask you this question in a very serious vein.
Yes, Sue.
Let us talk about shared interests.
Steady.
Well, I mean, football. Does Helen love football?
Helen? Get out of here, Helen. Rachel.
Rachel?
Rachel.
What is...
But saying, she told me not to come on this show.
And I don't mind if it goes wrong, because there's nothing that delights the average viewer more than seeing someone make a fool of himself.
Absolutely.
And if that person is me, I'm delighted.
You're delighted.
Just as well. It happens often enough. Now, it is important to establish a good rapport with your company, but one thing to be avoided at all costs is the setup when your guest tells you to ask them something. In one of the very first editions of Aspel & Company, Mel Brooks thought of an idea in the green room just before he came on and suggested that I say, "You lost your father at an early age." I fell for it. You lost your father at an early age, didn't you?
No.
My father died. Michael, if we lost him, we would have sent people out to find him.
Yes, well, I took it in good part. A year later, I received a check for $600 from an American program, no doubt informed by Mel, who used that very clip to show what happens to people who ask silly questions. If I'd known, they could have had all my stuff. Sometimes, though, you don't get a chance to ask any questions. That's when the guests take over the show and things get out of control. Do you remember Margaret Powell, the lady who found fame very late in life as a writer and TV personality? She put Russell Harty right straight away on what she thought of the interviewing game.
You know what this game is? I mean, it's money for old rope, isn't it? I mean, it's grossly overpaid, I think.
Have you been paid for tonight yet?
Not yet, but I hope to be.
You know we pay you by how good a performance you give.
Do you?
Yeah, because in the control we have a swingometer that goes like that.
Well, in that case, mine would be swooping right up, because they're all going to laugh at me, you see. You've got to keep laughing, because the more you laugh, the more I get paid.
All right, let me ask you a few sour questions then.
Oh, no, you couldn't be sour.
Could I not?
Well, you haven't got the kind of face that could be sour. Besides, you aren't paid to be sour anyway.
How do you know?
I know that, I know. You're paid to put everyone at their ease.
Yes, I like being interviewed. It doesn't happen often enough, actually. I don't get asked enough. I'm delighted that you asked me. I should sit here and relax.
Of course you will.
Well, it's power without responsibility. I mean, it's up to you to make this a good interview, Russell.
Well, that's all we have time for tonight. We'll be back.
They seem to say this is tradition, we want to thank certain people, and the women aren't allowed in, so that's the way it is. You wouldn't stand for that, would you?
I'd stand for anything, Will, if you were behind it. He doesn't even look at me, but I know he wants me.
It's a great sleeve, that.
It is, yeah.
If you touch my bleeding sleeve...
These sleeves...
No,
he's getting stroppy now. Because you leave his sleeves alone. Personal, them, eh? Can't touch the interviewer, can we? Hey, no, he's in command, isn't he? Can make everybody else look a right twit as long as you don't have a go at him. How long you been happily married then, eh?
Public perception of you is as a strong woman, isn't it?
Yeah, that's certainly true. Yeah, she's pretty strong, yeah, she's...
Are you intimidated by strong women?
I'm frightened of them, definitely.
Well, that's sure.
Intimidated by strong women?
Yeah.
You know, the problem about that embarrasses me, but what will happen, it would be a just absolute terrible thing if he turned around and hit her. So I think it's really not nice, Shirley, to do that. Because that's, I mean, we would really be upset if the man hit the woman like that. That would be terrible. Oh, my.
I tell you what I usually do on talk shows when I was asked that the host takes his shirt off and his jacket off. So, why? And sometimes even females, I ask them. Barbara Waters one of them asked me, and I said, take your shirt off and I take mine off, and we then do some things together. Why don't we do that? Yeah.
But quickly.
Yeah, sure, quickly.
We have to start.
Yeah, okay, let's do it. Okay, the tie. Yes,
I'll kill anybody who photographs.
Okay.
Keep the cameras on him.
Keep the cameras...
I'll show it to the audience.
No, we get a special lens for you.
You better start.
Sure, we start. Let's do it quickly. That's embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. Max, start that music, will you please?
All right.
Oh, I feel so good. Can I go home now?
Russell had all the fun. Back after the break with more uncomfortable moments.